Kill me.
I'm the Martial Arts Film Freak, and I watched Rurouni Kenshin, the final chapter, part 2, the beginning. What a title.
あなた方には死んでもらう。
そいつはどんな男だった？
この達筋にこの人数、人斬り抜刀斎だ。血も涙もない、ただの人斬りです。
あなたは本当に血の雨を降らすのですね。
Rurouni Kenshin Final Chapter Part 2 was directed by Keiichi Otomo, written by Nobuhiro Watsuki, and of course, action director Kenji Tanegaki. The movie stars, and I hate reading these off of IMDb for these movies because for some reason, even though we all know Kenshin, Himura, or Batosai, so many names, is the lead, he is never like the top of the IMDb on these goddamn pages. He's like 15 people down. But Takeru Sato, who else I got here? Kasumi Anemura, I liked her a lot. She was very good in this. Masanobu Ando, Towa Araki, Kentes Asaka, and that just says guest. I don't even think that matters. And of course, Yosuke Eguchi, and some other people whose names I don't want to read. Rurouni Kenshin Final Chapter Part 2, the beginning, is not quite an origin movie. It is entirely, essentially, like a flashback kind of movie. In the last one, in Final Chapter Part 1, we had the villain, who we learned that the villain is essentially Himura's brother-in-law, who is out for revenge because Himura killed Tomoe, his sister, Himura's wife. And so this movie sort of just tells the story of what happened there. While Batosai was a kill sword, this, crazy legendary badass assassin that killed thousands of people probably, why did he kill his wife? What was this situation? Because it's Kenshin. We all love Kenshin. He's a nice, pure of heart dude. Why would Kenshin... Yes, he's killed a lot of people, and he hates it. That's why he doesn't kill people. He has the reverse blade. He's very pure of heart. Why would he kill his wife? That doesn't make sense. So this movie kind of goes back, tells that story, what was going on in that situation. At the same time, we also do sort of see key elements of the character and also experience his time as a kill sword. I know we got to see probably a little bit of that in the first 3 movies. Those are more flashbacks. This really just shows Kenshin is prime kill sword. Holy shit. Now, the movie is a much slower paced film compared to especially the first 3 films. This is not overtly, I would even say, an action film. The moments where it is an action film are absolutely glorious. I will talk about that. But we get a lot of, a bit more of the politics of the, I guess they're the Patriots. The rebels, essentially, trying to take down the shogunate and trying to bring about this new age of peace in Japan. And then, of course, we get this whole situation with Himura and Tomoe. Which Tomoe, that actress, she did an absolutely wonderful job. She gave a great performance, as well as the actor who, of course, plays Kenshin, Himura, Batosai. They are wonderful. They are fantastic performers, and they put on wonderful acting performances here. But yes, much slower film. But in those performances, what I really like about Kenshin's performance here is you get to see his dissatisfaction, really, with having to kill. He has his whole thing we know in the later films, in the first 3 movies, and the 4th, I guess. He has his reverse blade because he decided when the new age is here, I will no longer kill. And he doesn't. He has his reverse blade. It's dull on the side that he hits people with, so he never ever really kills anybody in those movies. And you see in every kill he does in this movie, he's not really into it. He's like, you see a lot of people in these movies or any other movie where they kill somebody and they're sickened, sickeningly loving it. But every time he has to kill somebody, he's just really not enjoying it. He's dead-faced. He's completely no emotion about killing. And it's either that, or the other end of his spectrum is he's really, really upset about it. There's one person he kills at the beginning of this movie that it really eats him away. So we see him have that sort of inner conflict. Like, we know that he knows that it's necessary. He needs to be doing what he's doing to bring about this new age of peace. He just really doesn't like killing. And that is actually genuinely very interesting, and it's really well done by this actor. And then, of course, our whole situation with Tomoe, finding out why did he kill his wife? What was that whole thing? I really did enjoy sort of putting together the pieces of, you know, why would our good-hearted Kenshin just up and murder his wife? Turns out, good twist there, good fun stuff. Nice. But this is a Rurouni Kenshin film. We need to talk about that glorious swordplay, and it is glorious and bloody. I never really thought about how bloody these movies would be if Kenshin didn't have that reverse blade. Like, think of how many people in the first 3-4 movies, he just gets a full whack across the face, the arms, the torso, just whacking people with a dull blade. Imagine how bloody those fights would be if that blade was not dulled. That is how bloody the opening of this movie is. The opening of this movie is just absolute gore, but really well done, sort of not blatantly shoving it in your face and looking disgusting. It was really well done. I actually really quite enjoyed it. But the opening of this movie, he takes out like 12 dudes, and it just looks stunning. Absolutely well done. I love, again, Kenji Tanagaki's choreography, but the way they use the bloodshed as this way of making a point that Kenshin is just slaughtering people. He is the kill sword. And it looks so good and so devastating, and just really gets the point across that in those later movies, when he's not killing people, it's because this is what he was doing to people. He was just slaughtering essentially entire villages for the sake of a peaceful future. Just slaughtering so much blood everywhere, a lot of it. If you watched Snake Eyes, a movie in which Kenji Tanigaki was the action coordinator, the fight choreographer, all of that good stuff, for that movie, and you were let down by the sword fights because the camera just kept being all edity and jumpy and cutty and really horrible. I just kind of tapped the microphone and I apologize about that. Then this movie feels like a breath of fresh air, because it just lets you bask in every fight scene that you get, which is not a lot. To be fair, the fight scenes in this movie are sparse. As I said, it doesn't really feel quite like a martial arts movie, not like an action movie. It does feel much more dramatic because we get the whole Tomoe Himura situation. But when it is an action movie, it's glorious, and it just lets you bask in it. It lets you feel, it lets you see, and just worship every single fight scene, because the Kenshin movies have proved over the past decade to just be some of the best martial arts, some of the best blade work you're ever going to find, especially in the modern era. So for me, the action in this felt just like a breath of fresh air, because Snake Eyes made me really upset. They took what probably was really good choreography from Kenji Tanigaki and just cut it up. So in this, it's just Kenji Tanigaki getting to just free roam, be as good as he can be, and it's so nice. It's sparse, but it's nice. I was thinking, because this is sort of like a flashback origin story kind of movie, not quite origins, you know what I mean. I was thinking like, oh, somebody could probably jump in at this one, because, it doesn't really have to do with the future of this series, the first 4 movies. But then I've sort of thought, well, if you're going into Rurouni Kenshin, you are going into it for those fight scenes, for that action. And this movie is just so sparse on that I don't think I would recommend this movie to someone who has not seen them. Of course, you want to get those, those nice little seeds, as somebody who has seen all those prior movies, you want to see where it all sort of traces back to. You want to see how badass Batosai was, and of course the events leading up to the 4th film. But yeah, no, I think that if you are going into Kenshin, you want that action, you want those fight scenes. I would not recommend this to somebody who has not seen those movies, because I would want to introduce them to the world of Rurouni Kenshin with the action. And this movie is so sparse that I think if you don't care about these characters, if you don't care about this world, you may be a little bored. But I have seen these movies. I do like these characters. I do like this world. I was not bored. I was thoroughly entertained. I was enthralled. I was invested because I wanted to know why, Himura killed Tomoe. Absolutely wonderful performances there. And I was not disappointed. Very, very nice. I would give Rurouni Kenshin Final Chapter Part 2, The Beginning. What a title. Let's go. Thinking. Let's go 3.75 kill swords out of 5. I like that. 3.75. I think that's a lower score than I gave the last one. I think I can maybe give that one a 4. And that sort of fits. I don't think this is the best Rurouni Kenshin film overall. However, if you are into these movies, if you have seen them and you are an invested, viewer, fan of the series, then you are going to thoroughly enjoy yourself. Don't go into it expecting all of the action that you got in those previous films, because those previous films got a lot of action. This movie is very sparse with the action. However, the action is more of what you love, more of what you come to expect. It's just less, which is still good if you're someone like me. I did quite enjoy it. But what did you think of Rurouni Kenshin Final Chapter Part 2, The Beginning? That's a lot to say, and I keep wanting to mix up words. Rurouni Beginning, Final 2, Part, Chapter, The. Yes, what did you think of this movie? Tell me your thoughts in the comment section down below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Head over to Facebook, where there is the Martial Arts Film Freak Facebook page. Instagram, Martial Arts Film Freak. Twitter, Tristan_Glover, and TikTok, Martial Arts Film Freak, where I, a grown adult man, try to make TikToks like the young people. Do all those things. Thank you so much for watching, and have a good day.